Okay, so histograms. Now, okay, there are things that MATLAB can do that Excel can just do better. So I'm going to pause or comment that out for a second. Like, just say I've got some data. This is just numbers I made up. Like, I could do a pie chart of this data, and it does this. And honestly, I think Excel makes prettier pie charts. I could do a bar chart. I think, again, Excel makes prettier bar charts because they've got, 3D renderings and, like, goofy shadow drops and, because it's meant for presentation software kind of things. But something that I don't think that Excel can do very well is a histogram. So this is, well, you look at this and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But this might make more sense if I sort X. So if I sort X, I see I've got these numbers. And if I look here, I don't exactly know where that is, but okay, it says bin edges 0 to 30, the value is 1. Okay, which means that there's one value between 0 and 30. Yes, okay. Here, between 30 and 60, there are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5 between 60 and 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 3 between 90 and 120. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. So a histogram basically sorts the data and gives you kind of like a population density plot. It'd be like, this is where people generally are. So let's see. Okay, so you know how they're like, okay, so like most people make $3 an hour, and then one person makes $99 an hour, and then more people make $3 an hour, and then someone else makes $107 an hour, and someone else makes $4, and then made $5, and then more $3 an hour, and someone else makes $200 an hour. And we're just going to add some more, and 4s and 5s and 7s. Ooh, there's an 8, and somebody else makes, $135 an hour. Okay, so the reason histograms are great is because if I just ask for, say, the average wage, like if this is like an average hourly wage, they can be like, oh, the average, the mean, people on average make $30 an hour. But if you look at the data, almost everybody makes in this small amount. Now we can actually change the number of bins to make this even more narrow. So let's just pretend I had this data, but I had a lot of it. So I'm just gonna okay, so just pretend I have a lot of data. So there's now what you're seeing is dude, seriously, whoa, do I have a really big number in here? Yes, somebody's making a whole lot of money an hour. Did I get rid of that? No, I obviously forgot to put a space somewhere. Okay. And probably one more. Anyway, I think you're getting the point, is that data can be very misleading because, again, it's the average wage is down here, $38 an hour, but in reality, almost everybody is making $3 an hour, and I'm never going to find that big honkin' thing because it's somewhere. This is what I get for being lazy. All right, we'll pretend that person makes $1. There, okay. So basically, you've got almost everybody here making basically nothing, and then you have these people over here making a ton. So the average looks like it's $30 an hour, but whenever you, but that's obviously getting skewed up because these numbers up here are so high. So what I was going to say earlier is you can change the bins on the histogram to be more I wonder what the length of my data is because I just did a lot. So I got 120. So what if I make my bin size more 25? Okay, so now you can really see that 96% or 96 of the people in my population make between $0 and $14 an hour. Okay, so even though the average is 30, most everybody makes between 0 and 14 by a whole lot. So the histogram, I really like it because I think it gives you data in a way that a lot of other things don't. Statistics is really, really good at lying to us. Mostly just because that's what they do. But this is always a thing when they're like, the average American has something, 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 and you're like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Because then and I don't know what it is, but they'll be like the top something percent of people have, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, how about this? The standard example is like the average person has less than 2 arms. Because, you have like one person with 1 arm and then everybody else has 2 arms. And then this goes on for like a really long time. So here, let's do this. 1 by 1,000, and I'm gonna make the x at 1 comma 55 equal to 2. So the average number of times 2. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I meant to do the opposite actually. So there, the average number of oh look, because I did enough of those. There. The average number of arms is 1.99. There's my histogram of arms, because I guess I managed to histogram. So there's somebody down here, there's people up here. I can change the bins to break that up a little bit and show the bigger separation. Anyway, it's just basically a way to play around with the data. And like I have down here, you can actually pull the data from the histogram. So if you say A equals, say histogram, it'll tell you down here like exactly where those bin edges are, so you don't have to actually click on them. It'll say, like if you do want this to be 5, it'll say, okay, those are my edges. That's where it, broke them into pieces. This is the original data. These are the values within those edges. So that's pretty cool. You can actually access that data. We haven't really talked about structures yet, but you can access that data by being a.values, I think 5 should give you that 99, because you're asking for the 5th in a.values. You could be a.bin edges in the 4th position, and it should give you 1.8 or 1.6. I can't read. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th position, 1.6. So you can access all of this, and I think getting this kind of information out of Excel is pretty hard. So anyway, I think that that's kind of a neat thing you can do in MATLAB that you can't necessarily do in other data processing kind of things, where you can kind of have a decent amount of control. And of course, you can still throw in the title and X label and Y label and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty fun. Yay, histograms.